Okay, so welcome back. One of my final thoughts on Plyt. Okay, I think I'll do this in two parts, and I'll do the negative part first. As a game, as something I would maybe take to a gaming evening, etc., this just doesn't work. It's basically a glorified snakes and ladders. The swing and luck, depending on this dice, makes it way too random. As we saw there, I think the first sum my son got was 6 times 11, which he could do literally in about a second, and he moved 11 spaces. I then got something slightly trickier, but I've done it in real life, where I spent almost all 30 seconds trying to multiply 4 dice together, and ended up maybe moving 3. There's no correlation between the difficulty of the sum and how much you're moving. Plus, and I kind of added to that, these chance cards, wherever they are, here they are. These are just so random and can be so punishing. You know, you might be lucky and move 11 spaces on the die, land on one of these, and it says move back by the master score, which you've just done. Or yeah, so you're back to where you started. Or you might have one that moves down a level, or moves on your opponent up a level, which is, I'll have a quick look at the board. But moving up a level, yeah, essentially, let's see if we can find one here. Okay, it doesn't really show very well. If you're on 27, you want to go to 62. That's what, 35 spaces. That's a lot. That's a lot of dice rolls. So for me, as a pure game, it doesn't really work. It's kind of a slightly improved version of Snakes and Ladders. However, let's face it, I'm not Tom Vassell from Dice Tower. I'm not Toxin Crits Happen. You're here to know how it plays in a family setting. In a family setting, this game is absolutely phenomenal. I would seriously, highly recommend anybody who's got young children who might be just starting the process of learning multiplication, to go out and buy this however they can. I think there's a print and play version. I believe there's a solo app version on it as well for iOS and Android, I think. But if not, you can get it either through Amazon or through the publishers themselves. I'll provide the links in the video instructions. But this is a game where, yeah, I've been playing for a couple of weeks now with my son, and he's at the stage, he's in year 1 at school, and he hasn't really started multiplication. They're at the stage where they are literally just starting their times table. So at the moment he's doing his 1 times table, his 2, and his 10, I believe. And now he's doing 6 times 11. You know, he's doing it in a second. You know, he can do 6 times 5. He's learning how to do things like 6 times 12. I don't quite know, I'm picking 6 all the time. But yeah, he's learning how to kind of take a sum and break it down a bit. So, you know, he doesn't do 5 times 12. He'll do 5 times 10 and 5 times 2, and then add them together. And it's something that I just wouldn't have, he wouldn't have come across before. The other thing is, it's the options that they provide in this book, or in these rules. Yeah, there are some really good options in here. So one of them, it talks about you actually can agree to fix one of the dice. So at some point, I assume my son's only on 2 dice at the moment, but let's say he was younger and I really wanted him to practice his 5 times table. So what we could do is set that to 5 and then just roll the black dice. So we know he's always going to be practicing something times 5. Equally, when he maybe wants to go up a level and start rolling 3 dice, maybe he could fix one. He could fix this to 2 or something. So he's getting a number that he's then multiplying by 2. Things like that, I just think really help even the game out, and it really truly is a game that I have to work my best at to try and compete, because my sums are going to be a lot harder than his. But yeah, the other options they give, or they say that they can, if you want, you can agree a penalty for incorrect answers. It's actually something they don't recommend doing, and I don't like the thought of that either. I don't think children should be penalised for getting things wrong. But maybe if they're slightly older, or maybe if I was doing, if I wanted to do 3 dice, maybe I could penalise myself if I get it wrong. again, I talked about the time limit, so I always give myself 30 seconds, but sometimes I give Benji a minute if I think he's gone for it's quite a hard sum. And the last thing, which I think is quite interesting, is they give this option, these chance cards I just spoke about, of actually saving them up and not just reacting to them, and that kind of gives a little bit of strategy. So the time where you just move forward 12 spaces on the dice, you land on that, you get one that says that's going to show move back by the master score. Well, I wouldn't want to play that immediately. I might then wait until I get a low number and then play it. I just think that kind of, and it's not something we've played with yet actually, but I might look into that. But to be fair, when we play 2-player, if I'm just playing against him, we normally take the move up and down levels cards out of here, because it's such a big swing. I think if you've got more players, there's more opportunity to move people up and down, and maybe it kind of evens itself out. But we've just found whenever we play 2-player, you tend not to land on spaces that often, and therefore if someone gets to move up a level or move their opponent down a level, it can be game changing. But that's it really. I mean, there's nothing groundbreaking necessarily about this. All you are doing, and you could easily go out, buy some D12s, roll them, and practice sums. You could do that yourself. So you could argue, what are you paying for? Well, you're paying for the components, obviously. But I think the fact that it builds a game around it, it gives the children a target. It stops being, let's do some homework. Do you want to practice your sums? And it actually, hey, let's play a game. And so far it's worked. It's worked with my son, and for the record, my son is one of those kids who enjoys school, he enjoys maths. He was always probably going to like this. I played with, he had his friend over, a little 6-year-old girl. She seemed to like it. Now, if your child is completely anti-maths, I'm not sure if this is enough to get them to like it. It might be. I haven't tried that one out yet. But I certainly think it's really worth looking into. I'll just reiterate, I would seriously recommend anybody who has young children who might be just starting the learning process of how to multiply. And actually it's not just about children. I found myself, I only 4 dice. It's tough, particularly if you do it in your head. And the rules don't actually say, or if they do, I've missed it. I don't believe the rules say anywhere if you're allowed to use pen and paper. But I've actually done it both ways. In my head, there are some that I just can't do when I'm rolling 4 dice. Pen and paper is a bit easier, and particularly if we've got other things going on in the background, I'll probably use pen and paper. But it's nothing groundbreaking, but it's such a good idea. I'd say I would just recommend at least looking into it. I know there are schools around who are using this now, and again, if you've got any teachers or head teachers who you might want to influence, see if they can investigate this. I know there are special deals for schools, but it's such a good thing to think. It's not a game. For me, this is an education tool wrapped up in a game, which kind of convinces children that they want to play it. So that's it. That's kind of all I've really got to say about it. I'll provide the links below to the website where you can find out more information. They've got a Facebook page. They've got a Twitter account. And just for the record, by the way, if anyone thinks I haven't been paid to do this, the only thing I have done, I was given a copy of the game in order to review it. But that's it. I have no other vested interest. Just in case anyone out there thinks that I'm getting paid and that's why I'm giving it such a good review. That's it. Let me know what you think down below, and I look forward to seeing you next time.